Morning, this is Derek Dodge with Interstate Roofing, conducting a repair attempt. We are here at 701 Adcock in Evans, Georgia at the Amanqua residence. This is the first repair on the rear facing slope of the roof. It is the 4th of December 2024. So we're here to determine whether or not this roof is repairable. As you can see, I have identified the wind damage shingle. We've got the clear crease across the top and the tar strip's been broken. It's denoted by the X. We've also identified the course that it belongs to. Of important note, let me get out of the shot. You can see in the two courses adjacent to the wind damage shingle, there is no damage currently. So what we're trying to do is determine whether or not this roof is repairable. It's about 15 years old. We've got probably 50 to 60 wind damage shingles, maybe more. I'm not sure. Just looking at the back, we've got probably 30, 40 on the back. So could be more than that. But anyway, that's irrelevant. So what we have to do to determine its repairability is I've got to break the tar strips in these two shingles that were not damaged, as well as the two courses above, remove the nails, replace it with a like and kind quality shingle, and then fasten it back down to the roof and inspect the shingles adjacent to see if there's consequential damage that happened as a result. I'm going to be doing my utmost to make sure that I'm not lifting these shingles any more than is necessary, and I'm certainly not going to lift them past a 45-degree angle. So you can see that I did this with the proper tools, proper care, and I did everything in good faith. I want to establish some baselines first before we start, because I hear this quite often from adjusters that you lifted the shingle above a 45 degree. So I want to set a precedent and a baseline of what 45 degrees is. This is a speed square. We use this in all sorts of applications in construction. What I'm going to be using it here is to find an angle. As you can see, this is the pivot point. So this would be the bottom, and these numbers line up the degrees in which an angle is. So this says 45 right here, so in the center of it would be a 45-degree angle. If it was straight up and down, that would be a 90-degree angle. So because it's a wind damage shingle, we don't have to worry about breaking it because it's already broken. So this is a 90-degree angle with a shingle. I'm going to back up so you can see. That's what 90 degrees looks like on the GoPro, and this is what 45 degrees looks like right here. Try to zoom in so you can see 45. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to put my knees on the pitch hopper because that's going to be the position that I'm in during the repair. So go ahead and take a screenshot of this. This is what 45 degrees looks like. I will not be lifting the shingles any more than this. I don't even need to lift it to 45, but 45 is kind of the baseline, the standard. So I'm going to be using a flat pry bar to break the tar strips and remove the nails. I'm going to be securing the nails back down to the roof with a magnetic hatchet. I do not use a snake. I'm not going to use a snake. I understand the principle behind the snake is you don't have to lift the shingles high, but if the roof's not repairable, it's not repairable. And if I'm not lifting the shingles past a 45 degree, anyway, it doesn't matter. You know, if a roof's not repairable, it's not repairable no matter what tool you use. And I'm going to use a roofer's tool, which a roofer's tool is a magnetic hatchet. So now that I've explained the baseline, showed you what 45 degrees is, explained what I'm going to do, let me just do it. So we got to break the tar strips. It's a nice chilly December day. It's about 45 degrees outside, so we're within the temperature regs of installation procedure for the shingle manufacturers. You can't install a shingle below 40 degrees. So we're within the range. So we barely lift this up and we're able to pull the nail out. As you can see, now with a roofer snake, you'd actually have to go much higher than that on the removal of the nail. But with these flat pry bars, I'm able to just look with my eyes and see, okay, the nail's right there, right at the tar strip. So this is good. To me, this shows that whoever installed this roof knew what they were doing, because so far all these nails have been right at about the tar strip, which is perfect. That's where you want them to be. Not overtly manipulating the shingles with my pry bar, just able to pretty quickly get them out. This is all good so far. We like this. Yeah, I'm really loving whoever the guy was that installed this roof, because it seems like the air was the proper setting. I didn't bury any of them. Looked like it was nailed down at the right direction. should just be able to pull that out really quickly. So because this is a video, we're going to have a photo report to follow that as well, and take overviews and close-ups. We're going to place the shingle with a like and kind quality shingle. This is a 25-year 3-cab composition shingle. Pretty close in color match. You're not going to ever get perfectly color matched, even if it's the same exact color, because the roof has been baking in the sun for years, and so these are lighter than when they were installed. Let me do this one more time, give you as an adjuster or anyone that's watching the video, let's do 45 degrees again. So that's 45. So this is a newer shingle. We don't have to worry about matting, the matting fracturing from lifting, because it's a brand new shingle. It's super pliable. As you can see, it fall down pretty slowly. There's a lot of pliability. So give you an opportunity to do 45. We've got me matched up with the chalk line, as well as the shingles are in line with each other. So now let's just go ahead and... So I like a roofer's hatchet versus a snake, because the way that you set the nail, it matches the pitch, which is really good. You want it to match the pitch. And if you hit it right, you're able to set it in one and get it done in maybe 1 or 2 hits. Any more than 2 hits is... I missed that first one. You want to get it done in 2 to 3. 1 to set. Be great if you can get it all the way down in 1, but sometimes you need just 1 more. As you can see, I'm not lifting the shingles more than a 45, and I'm not hitting the shingles. Ooh, pitch hopper just... Oh, that's not good. That's right in the same hole, but it didn't set because it was right in the same hole. There we go. Yeah, see, I'm setting it in 1 and getting it down in 2. That's really good. And you know, the thing with a roofer snake is you're trading damage for damage. I get the concept, because you're putting the nail here, you're hitting it here, and so the idea is you don't have to lift the shingle, so it's not going to crease it. But if the shingle's not repairable, it's not repairable. You just, if you use a hatchet manifests up here. If you use the snake, it manifests down here, because you're just trading. Instead of getting a crease, you break the shingles with the hammering. So it's just something that DIYers do. People who aren't really roofers, they use a snake. And so I'm not one of those. My pitch hopper is falling on me. It's kind of a steep roof. It's a 10. Let me pull that out. Okay. Set it in 1, get it done in 2 more. We're just about done. 1 more nail. It took me longer to kind of explain what I was going to do than it did to actually do the repair. So thank you for your patience. Okay. So now that that's installed, overviews and close-ups. So there's a saying in this business, don't trust a roofer with gloves. I'm putting gloves on now just to demonstrate the consequential damage that happened as a result of this repair. So please forgive me. I didn't use them before. Okay, so let's set another baseline, right? Because I'm going to do something that might seem unconventional, but I'm going to set it with a baseline first so that you know that what I'm saying is true and it makes sense. This is a brand new shingle. We saw that as I lifted it and it fell down, it was pretty slow, had a lot of tension because the pliability is there. So let me lift this shingle to a 45-degree angle. Let me let it down. You can see it's coming down slowly. We can assume that because it's brand new, the matting is not going to fracture when you lift it. How we test to see if our assumption is correct is we wipe our hands across the top. Now, a crease happens as a byproduct of the fiberglass matting fracturing. The fracturing causes the granules to dislodge, which is where you get creases. And then with the continuous flapping like a sticky note in the wind is where you get those really pronounced creases. But if there's a crease, you just wipe your hands across the top, then it will manifest. You'll see the actual extent of the damage. So I did a 45. Let me get out of the sun. You can see that there is no crease. Let me lift it a little bit higher than a 45. Let's go to that's a 65-degree angle. We let it go down slow. You can see it's going down slowly. There's a lot of tension in this shingle. It doesn't feel like a sticky note. We wipe our hands across the top. I'm wiping pretty hard, right? So if lifting it was the issue, then we would see it. Let's go with the ever popular, you lifted the shingle above a 90 degree. That's a 90 degree. We watch it go down really slowly, and look at that. We wipe our hands across the top. We see absolutely no granules dislodging, no granules falling off. So the shingle's intact. So when it's brand new, it's not gonna break. So adjusters that say that just are misinformed, or they don't know. So we can see clear creasing across this one. I don't see clear creasing across this one. First thing, before I even see a crease, I wanna check the shingles, check its pliability. This feels pretty stiff, feels good. I wipe my hands across the top. I don't see the granules dislodging. I don't see a crease formulating as a byproduct of the repair. So I would say this one's a pass. This one, you can actually kind of see creasing. So let's check its pliability. It's got a little stiffness to it, but it feels much weaker than the other one. If I wipe my hands across the top, okay. So I see a little bit of granule loss, but I don't see a clear crease. I don't see like a clear matting of fiberglass matting fracturing. I don't see a fracture, so I'm going to say this one's good. This one, you can already tell it's creased. We put our hands under here, we feel it feels like a sticky note. You can just see the play. So when I wipe my hands across the top, you see the crease. Now, I'm wiping my hands across the top. Some guy would say, well, you created that crease. No, I just made the crease more visible. It was already there because the matting is fractured, right? So me wiping my hands across the top, clearly, as you can see, doesn't cause the crease. The crease has to already be there. So wiping my hands across the top just shows what's manifested underneath it. So as a byproduct of the repair, this fiberglass matting is fractured. When it's fractured, it's caused the granules to dislodge, and wiping your hands across the top just shows you the extent of the damage. You can see here as well, I can see creasing. So we wipe our hands across the top, and look at that. So this is the extent of the damage done to this shingle in the pursuit of this repair. So this is also a fail. So this one looks fine. Let's see. Well, look at that. I was wrong. Put chalk in there. So you can see the clear creasing across the top. So this is a fractured matting. Let's look at this one. This one looks good. So this one's good. This one, 1, 2, 3 failed. This one right here, a little bit of tension. So this one, even though some granules came off, you don't see a clear crease across the top, so it hasn't indicated that the shingle is fractured. So even though there's a little bit of granule loss here, I would still say this one's a pass. This one's like this one. A little bit of granule loss, but no clear creasing because the matting hasn't fractured. So in an effort, though, to replace one tab of a 3-tab shingle that was wind damaged while following proper procedures, industry standard tools and practices, we have 3 tabs